Hidden headwind could put some pressure on the price of Bitcoin. JP Morgan pointing out the pending expiration of the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust lockup that could send the crypto even lower. BK, how much pressure do you think this could put on GBTC, if any? Brian Kelly?
And we lost.
So problematic.
The baller, I mean, he's like too busy mining. It's taking him too much bandwidth or whatever he uses. And there's no connection for the phone. For the good old, send a telegram, BK, and let us know what you think about the GBTC lockup expiration
Or
impact.
smoke signals.
Smoke
I mean,
signals.
the entire island of
That might be
Nantucket
better.
is out now because of BK, jerk.
Right.
Well, it's funny. So that story is catching some steam, right? And
Yeah.
so people are talking about supply here. So they get unlocked out of that trust, and maybe it's Bitcoin to sell. And, you know, obviously this 30 to 40,000 range has been really important over the last week or two or so. I know that Guy Adami likes to quote our friend Carter Braxton. I think he said it on this show. If you break 30, there's an air pocket down to 20. 20,000 was the breakout level in December 2020. That was the all-time high from December 2017. So psychologically, maybe important. I just don't know what the catalysts are right now. We had China double down on mining. Oh, is BK back? You're kind of...
BK's back.
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
I mean...
Yeah, you're like,
given the
we got
choice between
BK.
Dan and the baller, I go with the baller.
Yeah. Well, it's better than me than Guy.
Yeah, me
BK.
too.
BK, what do you think?
Yeah, I'd go with me too. I mean, that's my choice. Now, so I'm not sure how much you guys heard of what I was saying, but you know, you have this unlock coming in. It has actually been a wait on Bitcoin for the last couple months. And so after July 7th, I think it's July 12th or so, what you're going to see is there's actually not that much selling. So we have a period of time here between now and July 12th where you can see a little bit of a rally, and then I'd be worried about this big, about 16,000 Bitcoin coming off of lock in the middle of July. But after that, you can see that's kind of clear sailing for a bit. So as long as we have the Fed keeping the pedal to the metal and we have risk assets going higher, we just have to get through this little spike of Bitcoin supply, and then I think we turn things around.
Part of this note, BK, was that JP Morgan thinks fair value for Bitcoin is between 25 and 35,000 in the medium term. Do you even think about Bitcoin in terms of fair value?
Yeah, it's one of those very difficult things, like with any currency, to do. The model that I use uses addresses, and you know, we've talked about it on the show before. For me, right now, where I would start to think that Bitcoin is getting as expensive is about 55,000. At about 29,000, it's cheap. So that's kind of the range that I'm looking at right now.
You know, BK, some people might take a look at GBTC because it always, or not always, but it has historically traded at a premium to Bitcoin, and now it's sort of the reverse. There's a discount to the underlying, and so they think the bigger the discount, the more sure money, a sure bet it is. Could that apply in the situation still or not anymore? Is that over?
Well, what has been happening, the reason why these unlocks are so important is because people have locked in a spread, so they're unwinding that trade, and that's why you're seeing the pressure on Bitcoin. If we see it go back to a premium, and I'm not necessarily expecting to go back to a premium, then that trade might come back on again. And what does that mean? That means people buy Bitcoin or buy into the GBT trust at NAV. GBT has to go out and buy the Bitcoin, and that is a tailwind for the market. So we really need to see that premium come back for it to have another tailwind for Bitcoin.